Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Stories from the Shelf. Today is really exciting. I have Elizabeth from Books and Pieces here with me and some super special guests. We're really excited. They maybe don't think they're super special. We're super excited about it.
Well, it's nice to be here.
Yeah.
We have Michi Trota and Michael Thomas from Uncanny Magazine.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And so with this, I'm going to go over really quickly for you. I'm assuming that if you've been here, you know, if you're here today, it's because you know what Uncanny Magazine is. But Uncanny Magazine is a fantastic subscription-based magazine. They have had 3 successful Kickstarter campaigns. They publish short stories and poetry and nonfiction, all in the SFF genre, and have had tremendous success. We're talking World Science Fiction Award nominations, Hugo Award wins, multiple of those, and of course the most prestigious, the BookTube SFF Award win that they had last year for Mary Robinette Kowal.
Which is on our website. It is listed in our awards.
We were just talking about how proud we were that was on there.
We had a moment. So absolutely fantastic run. They do great work. So Michi, Michael, would you like to introduce yourselves? Tell us a little bit about your past.
Oh, let's let Michael go first.
Oh, gee, thanks. So I am Michael Damian Thomas, and I am the co-editor-in-chief and co-publisher of Uncanny Magazine with my wife, Lynn M. Thomas, who is currently on the road doing some consulting work for her day job. I started out in this industry as an associate editor at Mad Norwegian Press, where I worked on books like the Hugo-winning Chickstick Time Lords, which was co-edited by my wife, Lynn M. Thomas, and Tara O'Shea. And eventually, I co-edited my own book there, Queerstig Time Lords, with Sigrid Ellis, and that was nominated for a Hugo. Lynn took over at Apex Magazine at one point as editor-in-chief there, and after Catherine M. Valenti. And I was her managing editor there, and we were also nominated for a couple of Hugo Awards. We also, while we were there, edited the story If You Were a Dinosaur, My Love by Rachel Swirsky, which the internet is familiar with, I believe. Then I also co-edited a anthology called Glitter and Mayhem with Lynn and John Klima, which was a nightclub roller derby anthology that we put out through Apex Publications, another Kickstarter. And since then we have been working on Uncanny. I am also a podcaster, along with the Uncanny podcast, which just won the Parsec Award. I am part of the Down and Safe podcast, which is a Blake 7 podcast featuring me, Scott Lynch, Amal El-Motar, and Ellen Miles.
Awesome.
Your turn, Michi.
Okay, so hi, I'm Michi Trota. I am the managing editor for Uncanny, and I've been a lifelong fan of science fiction and fantasy and all things geek. I've actually was a editor by trade. I currently work in Encyclopedia Britannica as their manager of content development and growth. And I do a lot of things. I love doing community outreach and community organizing. A lot of that manifests with the work I do with Chicago Nerd Social Club as one of their board members. I am part of the organizer crew for the Chicago Full Moon Jams here in Chicago. We're basically a monthly event that's a fire and drum jam that is free to the public to attend, and we might actually have one tonight, assuming that it doesn't rain. That'll probably have about 50 fire performers from the Chicago and Great Lakes area who come in to participate. I am also a troupe member for Rax Geek, which is a belly dance and fire performance object manipulation troupe. We will do things like there's a belly dancing Wookiee. You can find that video very easily. That's our producer and show director, Dawn Ziana Moon, who does that act. She's absolutely amazing. And I will do fire performance, like things like Wonder Woman with fire swords. And I am going to be doing a Dark Phoenix piece in our next show. So I'm super excited about that. And Uncanny is something that I've always dreamed of being able to do. So I will be forever grateful to Lynn and Michael for reaching out and asking me to become part of the team, because I met them because I do a lot of panels at local conventions. I talk a lot about representation and inclusion in geek culture and media. So that is, I'm constantly on the run and doing things, trying to make sure I have time to hang out with my husband and my 2 cats at home.
Well, that's really just kind of super cool.
I'm just kind of overwhelmed by how cool she is.
Yeah, Michi's pretty cool.
Do you mind, Michael, telling us a little bit about how you kind of became involved with Uncanny in particular, especially since you have kind of an established history in editing, kind of going for the Kickstarter route as opposed to the traditional publication house?
Well, with Uncanny, the way it started was, as some people may already know, my wife Lynn and I have a daughter with special needs named Caitlin. Caitlin has some significant health things. So we were working at Apex, and we were reaching a point where we just kind of were looking to do something new and something a little bit different. But at the same time, Caitlin was going to have a massive back surgery. And we knew we had to take some time off because of her scoliosis surgery and getting rods in her back. And it was kind of a long recovery for Kate. So that was we left, our last issue at Apex was December of 2013, and then pretty much most of 2014 we were taking care of Caitlin. And it was a pretty rough surgery, and for a while there she died on the table. It was a little scary, and the recovery was rough. Moving forward, we kind of immediately got the desire to do things again. We missed editing, so we looked at different ways that we could get back in. And we had already done a Kickstarter for Glitter and Mayhem successfully, so we knew Kickstarter was something that we could do. And we approached some writers and came up with the concept and the name, which was basically what we were doing at Apex. So Apex was, because it was owned by Jason Sizemore, who was our publisher there, and he'd always had a remit of dark because it was a horror magazine and a dark fantasy magazine. We wanted to do something that encompassed a little bit more lightness and had a little bit more, and as I said at the beginning, Lynn did all these Chick Stick Time Lords books, all the Dig books, we also did Weedonistas and Chick Stick Comics, so we kind of wanted something that was a little bit more squeeful than just, angry horror all the time. So we started to come up with...
Such a good description.
So we talked about what we wanted out of a magazine, things that we thought this would be great if we could do it. And we approached the writers, and then we approached Michi to become our managing editor. We approached Erica Ensign, Steven Shapansky from Radio Free Skaro and the Verity podcast to produce our podcast, and just kind of put together a team of people, Amelo Motar and CSE Cooney as our readers for the podcast. So we just kind of brought together people who thought, we're all on the same page of let's do this magazine filled with awesome love, community, and stories, nonfiction that made you think, and stories that made you feel something, that impacted you, that really was strong characters. And so we ran the Kickstarter. It went really well. Year one did quite well, obviously, from the awards that we were talking about at the beginning. Second Kickstarter went very well, and we just did the third Kickstarter, which was bigger than the second Kickstarter. So each time we have funded and reached all of our stretch goals. And now Kickstarter is just one way now that we fund the magazine. We also fund through Patreon. We sell subscriptions through Weightless Books and Amazon. We sort of believe in having multiple revenue streams and advertising. All these multiple revenue streams, and not putting all the eggs in one basket. That seems to be working for us. We've always made a little bit of money, not a lot, but a little bit to pay for a lot of Caitlin's medical care. And, the nice thing about Kickstarter is we get the money right up front, and we've been able to always pay our staff and our contributors right up front. So they are paid on acceptance, which is really nice.
That's very cool.
And Kickstarter builds a community, and that's the thing. You know, the thing about everything at Uncanny is we've discovered that so much of it is about community building, a community of readers, community of writers who are all interacting with each other and love this stuff. And Kickstarter seems to be a mechanism where people can really feel that community building.
Because that's where the magical space unicorn ranger thing came from, isn't it? From the first Kickstarter.
Yes, it did.
I was part of that, but I don't remember where that came from, and it's such a fantastic like community spirit thing that I love it, but I have no idea where it came from. Where did it come from?
Well, okay, what happened was when we decided to do Uncanny, I mean, it took a while to come up with a name, and then we came up with, and we wanted something that felt like a pulp name, like this was a magazine that had been around forever, and we were like turning it around, and part of it was because we were big fans of Anne Vandermeer and Steven Siegel's run on Weird Tales, when they made that a really awesome magazine. It was like, we want this, so we were going to invent this magazine that had this fake long history. You know, that had that feel that had been around forever, and Uncanny just felt like a good name. And we approached our friend Katie Shuttleworth. Katie is an animator. If you've seen the show Word Girl, she did on PBS. Oh, yeah. She was one of the animators there, and she ended up doing. She became our cover artist. We knew her from Doctor Who fandom, and she did the cover for Chick Stick Time Lords and Whedonistas and Chick Stick Comics. And we were like, and we hired Katie to do the Uncanny, first just the word mark Uncanny. And then we were like, and we should have a logo of some sort. And we were just goofing around. And I just said the word space unicorn. And she delivered, before we knew it, she was like, and here's your space unicorn. Katie gives us this. And like in the middle of that Kickstarter, like when you do a Kickstarter, every day you're trying to find some new angle or something to be interesting with. Because, you know, you're doing a lot of tweets. You're doing a lot of social media. And at some point, it just popped into mine, or Lynn, I don't even remember who did it. We just decided if you join Uncanny, you're part of the Space Unicorn Ranger Corps. And and then that just kept rolling. And then we did patches and things and stickers. And Michi has, I think, been the biggest cheerleader / signing for people up for the Ranger Corps.
I love it. It's great because it gives people something to actually, like, this is the name of the community that you're a part of. And it's unicorns in outer space. I think it perfectly encompasses what Uncanny is, because it means that we're not asking anybody to choose between fantasy and science fiction. There's no competition between it. It's all part of this massive genre awesomeness that everybody can feel a part of, and you can find something that you can connect with. And you get to connect with other people who are just as cool and awesome and totally ready to squee over stuff that they love with you. So I love it. I love it. And I'm totally getting a tattoo of that on my arm, actually.
Oh, really?
I'm not kidding. So the cover that Galen Dara did for us for Michael, what issue was that?
That was issue